Welcome back to Dark Corners Streaming. René Laloux's 1973 science fiction animation Fantastic Planet is sometimes surreal, sometimes insightful, often stilted.
Unfortunately, our methods are quite limited.
But always brimming over with imagination. The animation has a hint of Terry Gilliam, but is seldom played for laughs and definitely not for kids. The story is slow and allegorical, but also open to multiple interpretations, and I'm not convinced any one is right or wrong. Having screwed up our own world, humanity has wound up on a distant planet where humans are much lower down the food chain. To the Drogs, Oms, as they call humans, are little more than insects, though they make amusing pets.
His mother's dead. I'm going to keep him.
Which is the fate of lead character Tear.
You must call him Fido or Trusty.
Drogs age more slowly than Oms, so Tear seems to grow quickly, accidentally sharing his young owner's lessons and so becoming an educated Om, which becomes useful when he escapes and joins a community of savage Oms living in a tree in a public park.
We brought back 5 chests, Mighty One.
But the Drogs note the number and increasing boldness of the feral Oms and set out to exterminate the vermin.
The Drogs intend to kill all the Oms in the park.
It's a simple story told in languorous fashion through animation that is basic, often the camera is just moving over a still image, but strangely evocative. It doesn't flesh out the characters in any real way, and yet it is hard not to sympathise with them. That simplicity of character and story, and to a degree style, makes it all the easier for the audience to bring something of themselves to it, and that's probably why the film is so endlessly reinterpretable.
They also claim that the Om's ancestors on the ancient planet Terra were quite intelligent.
There's obviously an environmental allegory, both in terms of what humans have done to their world and what the Drogs are doing to this one. And of course a basic message about how we treat the animals with which we share our world. It's impossible not to see references to slavery and to the Holocaust. But just as importantly, the Oms also turn on each other. And it's only when they can put aside their own differences that they have any chance against the Drogs. There are also more subtle interpretations. Tear's owner Tiva makes herself up to look human, perhaps a hint of cultural appropriation. The Drogs' obsession with meditation feels a critique of an increasingly inwardly focused society. But the lifestyle of the savage Oms feels like a comment on 60s culture of drugs and free love. You can even read a biblical allegory into the Oms' exodus from the park. As I said earlier, I don't think any of this should be considered right or wrong in terms of what the film is about. I don't think it's about any of this. These are all just parts of the world Laloux is creating, the story he is telling, and you take from it what you will. By painting in broad strokes and not forcing any single message down our throats, Laloux makes it a surprisingly personal experience for such a superficially impersonal film. It's the definition of not for everyone, but I found it curiously wonderful. Thanks for watching. Are you a fan of Fantastic Planet? What other adult animations would you recommend? Let us know in the comments below.